You see this smile? This is what happens when monthly mayhem starts. Cue the intro. Welcome back to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. It's monthly mayhem OMG63 edition. And this is where we are taking the Traxxas TRX6 and taking it to 60, hopefully 60 miles per hour and beyond. This is the biggest challenge I think we've done since the beginning, if I'm honest. Certainly biggest in terms of the scale of the vehicle. The TRX6 from Traxxas is not a small truck, nor is it very aerodynamic. the G-Wagon G63 Mercedes-Benz SUV body is not small, nor was it ever meant to go fast. But why would that stop either myself or Josh? This is all about pushing ourselves, taking challenges to the limit, and this one is no different. We are really both very excited about this and very appreciative to Traxxas for sending us these 6x6s to do this crazy challenge with. It's going to be interesting. Not only is this a very large truck, it's also very heavy. And those are two things that are working against us when we were trying to make this thing go fast. And before I get too far into all of it, I should explain the rules this time around. These were designed to help make sure Josh can't cheat. Because we know he's going to. That's sort of his thing. I don't know if you've noticed. Anyway, let's go through all of the rules that we have to make sure that we stick to for this challenge. And if you've got any creative ways of maybe bending these rules, by all means put them down below so we can both read them and decide which ones to try. Anyway, this is the OMG63, as in, oh my gosh, and it's the G63, so you kind of get it, right? I hope they get the joke anyway. The rules. We must use a Traxxas power plant. We must use Traxxas provided batteries. We must use the stock body, but we can trim as desired. Traxxas also included a clear body, and I'll explain why a few minutes from now. Must stay solid axle truck. That seems fair. Must power both rear axles, and that's something that Josh and I made sure to mention. Because this is 6x6, we do want to make sure we're powering both sets of rear axles, and that doesn't mean that we necessarily have to power the front axle. And you know me, I did try to go rear-wheel drive in the first round with the original challenge of going fast, which I know I didn't win. I tried my best though. Moving forward, must keep the stock wheelbase, so we're not going to be changing the length of the overall vehicle. And we must maintain the axles stay in the same location width-wise. There are no track width restrictions, so that means we can offset the wheels and tires if necessary. I don't know if we'll need to go that far, we'll see. And finally, there is a 3 mile per hour plus bonus for the viewer-voted best styling. So I think we can already give me those 3 miles per hour. I've seen Josh paint. And of course, he'll probably get around this by sending the body to somebody to paint. And I mean, he's allowed to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm gonna paint my body myself. Because that's how you win votes, by doing things yourself. Do you like to do it yourself? We'll be uploading videos every Wednesday morning, and then we'll be following up with our regular live stream takeover where we will discuss the results of each episode. I think it's a great way to do it and to generate some conversation for what I have to believe is becoming a very stagnant show after 20 weeks. For this first episode, we're going to set some benchmarks, and I'm going to show you a few things that I've changed on the TRX6, yet still keeping it stock, for the purposes of being able to get accurate readings on our GPS trackers. We'll also be sharing some speed predictions, what this stock truck will do. I'm sure there are videos out there, but I'm going in fresh. I want to know what speeds you think this thing will achieve in both first and second gear, and I'll follow up with my own guesses. I think in first gear it'll be about 8 miles per hour, and in second gear I'm guessing 15 miles per hour. And that's on the stock running gear on 3S. So the included 550 can brushed motor, the VXL ESC, and a 3S 5000 milliamp hour pack. Stock gearing, nothing has changed in the truck. Those are my predictions. I'm sticking with them. Now, in order to set these benchmarks, there was one thing we needed to add, and thankfully, Traxxas included their TQI Telemetry Expander 2.0 with GPS speed module. This is a really great, handy little attachment that adds on to your truck. There are plenty of mounting points. This one on the TRX6 actually has a perfect mounting point. I don't know if this is where it was intended to go, but it fits perfectly on there. This includes a GPS speed module for accurate real-time speed. It's waterproof as well, just like the rest of the truck, and will support up to 6 sensors that you can add for added telemetry. So if you wanted temps, you could get temps. And because it's GPS, your speed isn't affected by rollout changes or gearing changes. It's all based on how much velocity the vehicle has as it travels through space and time. So hopefully we get to plaid. All of these readouts are available on the Traxxas Link software for your smartphone. It's really great because that means I don't have to actually take the body off to look at this old thing. I may actually, for the purposes of just making sure everything is accurate, I may run this as well, just so we have sort of a baseline and make sure everything is tracking properly. Installation of this telemetry expander is super easy. Included in the box is the telemetry expander itself, a communication cable, a bunch of screws, some silicone grease, and a zip tie. Make sure, of course, when you're installing this that there are no electronics or electrics flowing through the vehicle, so disconnect your battery before you get started. Plug in the communication cable, and if you have additional sensors, now is the time to plug those in as well. Run that communication cable between the two pieces of foam on the expander. Replace the expander cover, install the cap screws, connect the communication cable to the expansion port on your receiver, and it should be noted we're running the stock radio gear. We're not changing any of those things out, just to keep it all in the Traxxas ecosystem and to make sure all these things work properly. And then power up your system. Everything should link up. You may need to do a firmware upgrade in the Traxxas Link software on your phone. And once that's done, you've got telemetry, you've got GPS, and everything should be up and running. If it's flashing green, it's searching for a GPS signal, and when it's solid green, it has found a signal lock. Super easy, and with that, we should probably go outside and test our theories and see how fast this truck is at stock settings. So let's go do that. All right, so we're outside. Here's the truck. Everything's set up properly. I've got the Traxxas Link. Let's get some speed in. See how fast this thing goes.
Not so far off my predictions. 7 miles per hour and 18 miles per hour. There you go.
So those speeds are actually in kilometers per hour. 7 kilometers per hour low speed, or first gear, and 18 kilometers per hour in second gear. A simple setting in the Traxxas Link will let you set kilometers or miles per hour, and hopefully that shocked Josh just a little tiny bit. So who's got a prediction on what the final speed will be with this truck? Again, I'm going to be limited by space and time, and making sure I can get adequate space to actually try to run this thing at speed. There are a lot of upgrades coming to this truck, obviously, to make it faster, not just changing pinions, but I've got all kinds of fun and silly ideas for how to make this a very fast truck, despite its brick-like shape. As for my personal prediction on final top speed, I'm gonna say 67 miles per hour. I think is a pretty reasonable speed. It's lofty, considering the best I could do was 55 miles per hour on my previous try. But I think this truck is a better geared truck than the one that we were trying. It's a lot more robust, so hopefully I won't be breaking as many things. and there are some pretty clever tricks that I've got up my sleeve to get it to that speed. We'll be talking a lot about aerodynamics, and hopefully I've learned something from the last time I did this. I think we've got a much better and probably more equal shot at getting above 60 miles per hour, just as well as Josh. So I'm hoping I'm right on that anyway. Traxxas also was kind enough to include some pretty crazy electronics. We've got a VXL 8S speed control and a 2400 kV brushless motor with a 5mm motor shaft. I don't think 8S is really something we should even try. 6S, I could see that. But 8S, I don't think so. So we've set a benchmark. We know what's possible. We know what we need to do. Let's get into it and have some fun. I hope that you will continue to watch this series as things progress. It's going to get pretty, well, mayhem-inducing, I think. If you're enjoying this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you get updates anytime there's a new video from the Scale Builders Guild. We will be back with episode 2 next Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for watching. See you again soon.